You've written your book, now you've got to make it look like a book. Today I'm showing you the key things to use and watch out for when formatting in Atticus. If you want to support the channel, just for $1.99 a month, you can join my YouTube membership, cancel at any time. You get custom emojis, member badges, and I prioritize all your comments. Anyway, let's dive in. Okay, the first thing to know about Atticus is that you have themes, and this is where you have to understand your genre, your niche. Okay, Atticus has quite a few themes that they already installed. Basically, it's all commercial license, so you can use these and publish your books. So the licensing is fine. So what I mean by the understanding your niche, you want to pick like a font or a theme that matches. Okay, so take a look over here on the right hand side. All right, this doesn't scream romance. Okay, it doesn't scream romance. This doesn't scream romance. Maybe this could be kind of a romance kind of font. All right, this maybe, this might be okay. This might be okay. So I'm just going to go through. You can have a look on this like preview, and does this scream romance? Maybe, but you definitely need to know, according to your genre, whether this is going to match what you are putting out. It's a reader expectation, just because you think it looks cool. So I think this looks cool. If you're a bit of like a retro, maybe a gamer, this might be like, yeah, this is nice. But if you're writing romance or you're writing something else, this may not be what your readers are expecting. So yeah, number one of things to know in Atticus is I use the settings, the themes that they call it themes, the themes that they have already, but I want to make sure that it matches my genre. Okay, so if I'm writing like a thriller, I'll probably use something like this, maybe even this. I definitely won't be using something like this. Like this doesn't scream thriller to me, you know what I mean? So if you're writing like non-fiction, maybe something like that, or these things, that might be okay. But you don't want to do this for non-fiction unless you're writing something that's related to this theme. Okay, so be aware of what your readers are expecting, and choose the appropriate fonts and theme on Atticus. Second tip about using Atticus to format your books is one that I discovered kind of early on. You want to use the preview function. This is the preview function on the right hand side over here. Okay, so you can customize it to the device that you want. So I just leave it as like anything for the ebook, Apple, Android, whatever it is, but you can change it. So if you have like a Kindle, you want to see how it looks like, a Kobo, whatever it is, you want to see what it looks like, and then that goes hand in hand with selecting the theme. The one I really like is to make sure that it looks okay in print. So it needs to look okay in the print, and yeah, it takes a bit of time to calculate the pages, but basically I want to see what it looks like in print. Especially if I'm doing like a paperback or hardcover. Otherwise, make sure you utilize the preview function for anything, basically. If you make any changes to your themes or even to your book itself, just scroll through and see that it's kind of translated, okay, into the preview, so it looks okay. Otherwise, you may find that you've done all the work and then it doesn't look right. So with every little change, I tend to just have a look, just like a peek, and see that it has, translated over, just to make sure it's good, So yeah, preview function, absolutely cannot live without it. Absolutely love it as well. Okay, next up is this really important tip, and I hope you really pay attention to this one. Now, if you pay attention to this bit over here on the bottom sort of section, it says book 102,262 words. That's how many words I have in this book. What you want to do, or what you don't want to do, is format the whole thing at the start, as it, and expect it to be perfect. What you want to do, though, is delete a whole bunch of chapters. All right, you want to get this down to, I don't know, 20,000-30,000 words maybe. Okay, so just delete a whole bunch of these, right? And then once you get down to 20, 30,000, go to formatting and have a look at the print, and just download the print version, like export PDF and download the print version. Okay, and the reason I'm saying this is you want to give formatting a test run. Okay, you need to have a test run. All right, and when you do a test run, you'll see, okay, does all this does it look right? Is the font correct? Is the spacing correct? So whatever, like let's say I've custom this theme, I'm gonna have a look and edit this theme. So I've got font size, so for the chapter title, I've got the subchapter title, all these things, like all these little bits that you need to customize in Atticus. You need to look at the print. Obviously look at the print preview page, for sure you want to look at the print preview page, but you also want to have a look at the actual PDF and EPUB and see what it looks like. Okay, so what I suggest is that you don't run the you do a test run. Okay, basically you do a test run, and instead of using, so just popping back to writing, instead of using a test run of a full 100,000+ words, what you're going to do is maybe take a chapter, or maybe take the book but with only 20 or 30,000 words, which means just getting rid of like a whole bunch of chapters. So you may want to just do it as like a separate project, okay, and then test it out with 20, 30,000 words, see what the formatting looks like, okay, for the theme that you've chosen or you've edited, the font size, the print layout, things like that, and see if it looks the way you want it to look. And obviously we've touched on this before, but it's also got to fit with what your readers expect. So does this fit with your genre? Does this fit with your niche? So basically do a test run, have a low word count, because then it'll take very little time for you to get the document from Atticus. Like if you have this at 500,000 words, it's going to take a bit of time to compile, you know what I mean? But if you do it on like a 20, 30, even 50,000 words, it doesn't take too long, right? So this is a really important tip that I figured out quite early on. Do a test run, okay? Do a test run of Atticus. This point is more about getting clear on your format, particularly if it's for print, okay? Print. Now, one of the major issues that I've come across, I've done it myself, okay, is the trim size. Basically the size of your book, is it 6x9, 5x8? Do you want it by KDP, or are you using Ingram Spark, or are you using both? Okay, so basically, there's the orange and blue dots that show you which ones are okay for KDP and which one's okay for Ingram Spark. So orange is for KDP, blue is for Ingram Spark, and if it's got blue and orange dots, it's good for both. All right. So basically, you want to make sure you get the right trim size in inches or millimeters. All right. Basically, if you get this wrong, then when you go to upload, it's just gonna kick back a whole lot of errors. So I've done it before. I've been like, okay, everything looks good. I spent so much time trying to customize this thing. Everything looks fine. Okay. I picked the layout that I want, and okay, good. I'm gonna discard this. But basically, I'm like, okay, perfect. Let's go to export PDF, and then I upload it, and it doesn't work. All right. So this is one of the things that you need to look out for, is that you should go through every single bit, especially the trim size. In fact, I would suggest you start with the trim size, work backwards, start with trim size, select the right ones in inches or millimeters, and then go to headers and footers and go backwards. All right, and once you've got all these kind of checked off, then you should be good to go. Export the PDF or EPUB, and then see what happens. But yeah, make sure you get the trim size right. Following on from that point, something you should probably know about is export to PDF or EPUB or both. So all like major retailers except the use PDF for the print version, and they use EPUB for the ebook version. So just make sure you download the appropriate file and upload the appropriate file to the right format. So if you're doing EPUB, upload it for the ebook, All right, so if you can actually upload the PDF for the ebook as well, but it doesn't come out as well because it won't be reflowable content, whereas EPUB is reflowable content. So yeah, it's just a minor thing, but sometimes, you know, I've overlooked it before, many people have. Just make sure you get the right format for the print version or the ebook version that you're uploading. Okay, and this point I'm going to show you quickly actually is just the top and bottom of a book. And what I mean by that is readers expect, you know, for example, they expect a copyright page, they expect something about the author page, you know, just make sure your book has all the usual things that readers expect. Okay, so for example, over here I don't have an about the author, so I may need to add that. I haven't really done much of the copyright page. So I need to do that. But basically you want to make sure your front matter and your back matter kind of match up, so that it gives at least it gives the impression that you're a professional and you know what you're doing. So once you have that in place, make sure you format it correctly and everything should look kind of complete. Okay, so front and back matter, especially if you got like call to actions, for example, you know, the join my email newsletter, or you get a free download, or check out my other book titles kind of thing. You know, make sure you have that in place. So front and back matter, really important. Don't miss those. If you want more tips on formatting your book, whether you're doing it for yourself or you just want to learn what to expect, check out this playlist right here. Or click on this video that YouTube thinks is perfect for you. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you there.